we get asked a lot what exactly Climate Cymru is, what it does, how it's evolved from its original campaign. So this is a quick explainer of what it's all about. So we started as a desire for the voices of people of Wales to be represented at COP26, which is the UN Climate Conference in 2021. And there was also this desire for Wales to do its part as a country to drive the collective global call for action forward at that critical moment in history. So we got busy building a movement, gathering voices, and it's, I would say, really a different kind of movement to what you might traditionally think. So it spans Welsh society. So there's universities, there's unions and businesses, charities, schools, big institutions, and community groups. And so we have 50 ambassadors, we have 14,000 concerned citizens as part of this network, and then over 300 organizations now. And of course, those organizations, many of them have large networks of their own, so many hundreds of thousands of people collectively represented there. So it soon became obvious there were all sorts of uses for a cross-sector broad coalition working together productively to build a better future in Wales. And the opportunities kept presenting themselves even before COP26, things that really needed doing, where we were well placed with this network to make it happen. But so after COP26, the network gave us an overwhelmingly sort of clear mandate: keep at it, there's so much more potential. So we did, and here we are. And but what brings us together as a network? So we have this core kind of principle, if you like, that keeps us on track and brings everyone together in a network under the umbrella. And so it's a basic statement: we recognize the climate and nature emergency requires urgent, fair action, and we believe that action should be guided by science and the voices of people across Wales. And for organizations as well, we asked them to align with and agree with the brilliant legislation that respects the rights of future generations. It's a groundbreaking act in Wales, the Future Generations Act. Central to Climate Cymru's work from the outset was getting people's voices heard. And it was the original mandate and remains central to our way of working. There is a steering group made up of this wider network that shapes and defines our work. And it makes sure that, the people and organizations of Wales get a real chance to shape Welsh policy. And that's a key part of our work, feeding those voices into policy development in Wales, and especially those that don't normally get a say. And so as a pillar for that, we are grant funded. So we're independent of Welsh and UK governments, and we're hosted in terms of a legal entity by an established and well-respected charity, the Welsh Centre for International Affairs. And so it's completely free to join this network, which is important to ensure that it's inclusive and diverse. So it's not just the well-resourced organisations or the wealthier individuals that get to contribute. And so the idea really is to be a catalyst for action, to really transform Welsh society and build a better future. And the network itself is a powerful tool for that. So we're working with that network in a variety of ways, partly just to amplify and showcase the amazing work that's going on around Wales within the network and outside, connecting. Because we're reaching across society, we can bridge silos and sectors, different, connecting people within the same region that are working on similar things, or targeted partnerships that have some mutual benefit. People who really should be working together but haven't yet connected. And then bridging is also a really important part of what we do. And by that, I mean a bridge between feeding key information in both directions to other home nations, representing Wales when the four nations need to sit together, and when there's a UK-wide climate and nature work, sort of being that devolved voice, and then to international efforts as well. And of course, a bridge to and from Welsh Government, like the policy feed-in that I talked about, but also sharing some of the good work that's coming out and new initiatives that are coming out of Welsh Government, helping the wider network and public know about that. And there is a need sometimes to unite and work together. Sometimes we are stronger together, and Climate Cymru is like an umbrella that can be a vessel to help that. And so a good example of that is the Warm This Winter campaign that we're helping to coordinate in Wales on behalf of many people who care about these issues around Wales. So the cost of living crisis, the energy crisis, climate crisis, they're all interconnected, shared causes like fossil fuels and sort of vested interest of a few benefiting off the backs of the many. And then there's shared solutions as well, like energy efficiency, low cost community owned renewables, that sort of thing. And so Warm This Winter is a coordinated effort to own the narrative, to push back on those vested interests, and to make sure that short-term solutions don't career us from one crisis into the next. Other examples of activities, we're helping coordinate Great Big Green Week in Wales, which is the largest collection of environmental events that have ever happened. So hundreds of events, every corner of Wales, really exciting sort of celebration of the action that's already happening in communities, and bringing new people into this kind of this movement for change. And during that Great Big Green Week, we do a tour in electric vehicles, trying to visit as many of these people and groups and events as possible, celebrating community action and really showcasing the work that's going on around Wales. Another example of nature is really intertwined with the work on climate. You can't separate the two. And Nature Positive is a campaign to bring that word into common use, and to hopefully be a part of a global target to get nature back on track and have a sort of rejuvenating nature in Wales and around the world, tied to the UN Biodiversity Conference. There is also other things within the network. I won't get into too much now, but things like the Policy Hub, which is a place where people who care about Welsh climate and policy and nature policy can share updates, key information, and it's a resource to help be more effective as a collective trying to influence policy. And I suppose there is this invitation for those who haven't done already to join this movement for change. And it's free, it's super flexible how you engage, it's open to all areas of society, no fixed obligation to attend or respond to all the emails or anything like that. So you can engage in a way that suits you and your organization. So it's really easy to do so on the website. So we invite people to get involved. And yeah, let's make it happen.